And we're live. Hey there, what is happening, everybody? Right here on YouTube. Thanks for tuning back into the channel today, right here with the Rust Belt Mechanic. And tonight we're enjoying a live stream. We're going to be doing some chitting and chatting all about the modern technician and some of the negatives that are happening into the industry and get some insight from you guys on what we can do to right some of the wrongs that are going on. Also, tonight we're going to be doing a giveaway from my last video. On the last video, we did this sweet little giveaway where we teamed up with Toolbox Widget and their newest Knuckle Scrubber hand soap, where all you had to do in that video was put in a comment and sign up on their site for the next giveaway, which is free to enter anyways. And one lucky commenter is going to be winning a 1-year supply of Knuckle Scrubber hand soap tonight. So we can do that one tonight. Sorry, buddy, we're not going to have anybody joining in this evening. I'm just going to be going through some information and getting some information from everybody here, hopefully. McBake is in the house. What's happening, buddy? Mr. Doolittle Justin Lamb and Wrenching the Bolts on YouTube. What's up, little man? So we're having a good old time tonight. Yes, I know it is a Monday, but Mondays, they can be all right. A good start to the week, or they can kick you in the butt and really want to leave you scrambling for more hours throughout the rest of the week. But you know what? Today turned out to be an okay day. At least here with mine, I ended up having to work on one of the new diesel Jeep Wranglers, and it was not fantastic. I get a lot of comments on the video that I did about the diesel Jeep Wrangler, and lots of people asking my opinion a year down the road, like, hey, is it still your opinion? What do you still think about it? And I still think it's a piece of garbage. I think Jeep should have stuck with the 3.6 liter, having that one engine platform inside the Wrangler, and just stuck with that one, and maybe added a Hemi, but all of these extra little additions, the 2-liter turbo, 1.3-liter turbo direct injected motor, putting in this 3-liter diesel, these things suck. Today I just pulled out the transmission of one, and it took me right around 5 hours just to pull a transmission on a 4-wheel drive. Yes, I know, still pull a transfer case, but it's still a Wrangler, but rear-wheel drive base style vehicle. That is absolutely ridiculous. Should not take me that long to do that one. You got a couple more people kind of rolling in here. McBay says he wants to see Captain Ron. Well, you got to ask, where is Captain Ron? I don't know. He's hanging around and doing something somewhere. Who knows? Hey, what's up, Checkmate 115? They need to bring back the 4-liter from 1995. Well, actually, the 4-liter was inside of the Wranglers all the way up until 2004, and I actually got to work on one here about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. Replaced a PCM on a really rare one, I guess, from 2004. It was a high output 4-liter with a manual 5-speed. I guess for that year, that was not a plentiful option, and needing a PCM, because I guess that was a really rare option one, was a pain in the butt, and nobody had one. They had to end up getting a crap one off of a shelf somewhere and rebuilding it. It ended up costing the guy like $1,500. Yeah, not good for him. I don't know, McBake. You need to message him. Where in the world is Captain Ron? We can make a game out of that one, too. Had head problems on the 2000 Plus. I can't say that I've ever really had that on any kind of daily driven Jeeps. Now, ones where guys have been, rock crawling them and bouncing them off the rev limiters. Yeah, I've seen some issues out of those. But, you're really going to see that on a lot of those. Daniel Martinez has just got a new 2016 Corolla XRS. There's an oil coming up in the spark plugs. I think it's the valve cover gasket. More than likely, it's a 4-cylinder, especially. You probably got the valve cover gasket O-rings inside of your valve cover gasket there, and they're probably bad, just leaking oil into those. I don't know what the charge of $500 is on that specific one. Sounds like a pretty expensive fix for a 4-cylinder valve cover gasket. I don't know on that one specifically, just because I don't know the hourly time on it. But anyways, we will be doing the giveaway, but we're going to wait for a couple minutes for a couple more people and everything to get in here. Mark Galantine, what's up, man? But we wanted to go through a couple of industry questions that I have been getting a lot of here lately, and I wanted to get some insight from you guys on what you absolutely thought of the automotive repair part of the industry going on right now. So out of everybody here, I'm assuming you're some kind of a technician, or the people who are going to be watching this video are some kind of a technician. As we know, over the last couple of years, the automotive service world has had a massive decline in technicians, and that could be set upon for a numerous amount of reasons, whether it be the lack of pay, the automotive industry giants, the big three, having some crappy warranty times, some crappy warranty practices, not treating technicians well. The cost of tools and ownership of anything automotive technician related is just going through the roof. So you can't even, buy the tools to do the job. So why would any of these newer techs want to get into? That's another option. Some of the other ones are just saying, well, family lifestyle basis has pushed these newer, younger generations into going to college for nursing and going to college for engineering and, something that requires a 4-year college degree to be able to get into is what a lot of the modern generation is saying, that, oh, if you're not doing that, then you're not successful. So that's another possible reason that we've had this, massive shortage in technicians. But regardless of what that is, which one of those reasons you want to choose, there's only going to be a few things that we're going to be able to do to right this wrong in the industry. I want to hear some opinions from you guys tonight on what you think that dealerships and or independent shops can do to turn these things around, because it's not going to be us as technicians doing a whole lot of the changing that's going to make the big flood of changes. It's going to be the shop owners. It's going to be the dealership service managers, and some of the automotive manufacturers are going to, kind of be tossed into the mix there. But, we can go through each one of those and what you guys think might be some of the rights to this wrong in it. One of the first things that I kind of wanted to bring up into this was a couple of articles from the interwebs that we kind of rolled out and through. And first one is from the Philadelphia Inquirer, and pretty much saying how much there is a shortage of technicians. The automotive repair undergoes transition as cars get more complex and older mechanics retire. Yeah, that's right. If it's not broken, everything is a shortage, not just automotive. There is a huge thing, but I have a feeling that it's more in the automotive because they're flooding away from that one for a couple of these reasons. Now, this article kind of goes into showing this one lady here. She went in to be a nursing student, but she decided to be an automotive technician, and they brought up a couple of really, cool things and some eye openers to be able for, you guys to see. And the Department of Labor showed that nursing occupations, they were predicted to go up 7% by 2029, up 3.1 million jobs. Whereas mechanics careers, this is what the Department of Labor statistics is guessing will happen by 2029. Now, we're going to go into why they're guessing this, but they are imagining that the mechanics demand is going to go down by 4%, losing to 27,800 positions within the automotive industry. Now, obviously, this next line right here is one of the big nuts for the squirrel to take on that one. And it's $75,000 salary for a nursing career as to the mediocre $44,000 technician salary. Now, I don't know what you guys think, but I personally do not know any automotive technicians who are even remotely semi-successful that only make $44,000 a year. I just don't know ones that are out there, because the guys that are making that $44,500 a year, those are the guys who are lube techs. And I get that one in the first year or two. I could see that as a median, starting off, or a level 1 technician. However, anybody who has any amount of years or experience within the automotive industry, 44 grand, that is not what we see as the median, especially that being the average for automotive technicians. I want to know where they're getting this from, and I don't think I really believe it. Most techs don't have college degrees. Without that, they need to pay a huge amount back. That is true. That is a good thing to not have debt from that one. Also, a lot of the times for automotive technicians, if they are wanting you to get some kind of a certification or degree, then it's going to be a 2-year thing, and it's usually either at a specialized training facility or a local community college, which is generally a cheaper tuition, or something that's not going to cost nearly as much down the road. Easy Does It says flat rate needs to get rid of flat rate. Do you think we need to get rid of flat rate? I semi-agree with that one. However, I don't think it's going to be going anywhere. Mostly because the industry as a whole, how we do things and getting paid per job, or the jobs that need done customer pay-wise, how the consumer pays for their bill has to be calculated in flat rate. So the industry as a whole, they're already having to calculate somebody's bill based off of the job that needs done, and generally what kind of time frame or what kind of labor it's going to take to do that job. So they're already having to calculate up how much it's going to cost, and through a flat rate fee to be able to charge the customer. So therefore, it's just an easier way for the dealership or the independent shop to pay their technicians based on that same amount, because it is equal to the amount of money coming into the dealership. When you start doing different pay scales and different ways that they pay the technicians, they're taking in the money based off of a flat rate system. But if they're paying the technician based off of just a flat pay or a salary or an hourly amount, it's hard for them to see, the worth and value of the technician's time based off of the amount of money coming into the shop, where the efficiencies were, where things might have been lacking in that amount. So it's kind of hard for that one. 2 years at UTI, $22K. Do regret that one, but associates in twisting a wrench. UTI is one of the fancy stick your finger up mechanic schools that I personally think prey on the younger generation and what they believe the automotive industry to be. They're looking for the students who are looking for that glamorous automotive mechanic, somebody who's being a NASCAR pit crew, somebody who's working on Audi R8s or Lamborghini Murcielagos. No, it's not the generality. That is not what most technicians are going to be working on, but that's what they advertise towards, and that's how they get a lot of their newer techs to come into their programs. Yeah. Fun fact, my daughter was at Crossbones House a couple weeks ago, and she just freaked out seeing me on the phone. She is cute as a button, too. I don't know how McBake was able to make a human being look that cute, but evidently it happened. Things happen, UTI needs to go the way of the dodo bird. I like that one. Most repair shops will pay to go to schools because they're a day or two at max. Now, that is something that definitely needs to be done. And one of the most recent YouTube videos that I watched from Super Mario Diagnostics, if you guys haven't seen that one, he went to one of the most recent technician training events and asked a whole lot of other technicians and YouTubers what their opinion was on training in today's realm and whether it should be on the technician or whether it should be on the dealership or shop to be able to pay for. And honestly, the biggest, person who's making the biggest amount of money for this is obviously going to be the dealership or the shop, and getting more hours, getting more quality hours, and being able to bring in more and different kinds of jobs to be able to be completed based off of what that technician is capable of doing. If they're capable of doing more and better work, you're able to bring in a different or a bigger clientele. So obviously they're making a crap load more money. Yes, I do know the technician is probably going to make more money too. At least I would hope so. You get more certs, more abilities, so you should get paid more money. That's just how things should go. So they are obviously making something of it, but I think that it should be in the hands of the owners of the dealerships, the service managers, to pay for that one. So another article that I wanted to kind of bring up here is from Fixed Ops Journal. It was published August 8th. We'll bring this one up here. The crush of repair work intensifies and service technician shortage. Now, this was right about the time that I did the video based off of, why it takes so long to get a vehicle into a repair shop. And this is exactly why, seeing why the industry is booming, but the amount of technicians are not flocking to the industry based off of what this article right here is saying. For the amount of numbers and guys who are looking at the just general thought here, why are technicians not flocking towards doing something and getting in on all of this extra repair work? Like we've been talking earlier, it's going to be a lack of money coming in towards the technician. Mostly, that's what it comes down to. You're not getting as great of benefits. The technicians are, demonized throughout the major part of society and just thought to be the dumb monkeys and the grease heads of the world. So why would we want to do that one? We can look into this article, and they're talking about these other dealerships and shops around big cities, especially, that are down 30, 40% of their total capacity of technicians where they want to be at. One of the nifty little tidbits here says that they're actually looking for technicians, not just locally anymore. Because obviously, to be able to get quality technicians, you're either having to grow them from scratch. That means getting them, young, putting them through school, and then putting them into your dealership and taking 4, 5, 6 years or so to be able to fully train them to master status. It's a cheaper way, but it's obviously going to take a lot longer. Now, if you want a master certified technician right away, it's going to cost you. And that comes in the way of stealing one from another dealership, which is in a really beneficial place for the technicians to be right now because everybody's fighting and clamoring over them. And right now, to be a technician it's the best time to, because you are holding all the cards as a technician, especially one who is certified, who has any amount of experience more than a year or two. You can pretty much write your own ticket and write your own pocketbook of where you want to go, what kind of work you want to do, what manufacturer you want to work for, what kind of cars you want to work on. Because literally every shop that I've ever talked to in the last 6 months, I asked them, are you hiring? Are you looking to hire within the next couple of months? Why are you hiring? And it's always yes. I've never had one single shop or technicians, independent shop or dealership service advisor that I've talked to ever say, no, I think we're good on the amount of technicians that we have. I'm probably not looking to hire. It's not happening right now. They have such a massive influx of work coming into shops and such a lack of technicians that they're needing to find them. And this one instance here on this article said that they're even looking international for technicians. They have prospects in Dubai and Switzerland that they're trying to get into because it's so hard for them to find quality technicians, and they would rather pay the premium of getting a certified trained technician from somewhere than to be able to do that one. So right here we can see that they're pulling prospects from Dubai and Switzerland, and they're hiring lawyers that says that it could take up to 10 months and roughly cost the dealership $10,000 to be able to get one of these techs. But honestly, right there, that just shows you how much a technician is worth. And I did a whole video on that one as well, on how much it costs to make a master technician and what a master certified technician can make your shop or dealership. We'll put it this way, over the technician's lifespan, it's millions. The technician is going to make absolutely easily millions for the dealership, especially working, flat rate and you're pretty much working your butt off right there. And we can see they're trying to pull them from other countries. Another thing that a couple of other places we're looking at, you can see that in this one service area that we looked into, 60% of franchise dealers are trying to hire more technicians this year, and 72% of them say finding or hiring the right employee is a challenge. That means they can't hire the people that they want to. And right now, that is absolutely the truth. It absolutely sucks. This one dealership, they have 13 dealerships throughout this area. They collectively employ 236 technicians. However, to fully, to put the facility to full staff, it's going to take 119 more technicians. That's just in one service area, one single dealership chain. That's crazy. Diesel techs wanting a CDL, get a CDL now. January 2022 nationwide. Anybody wanting to get a CDL will have to take truck driving school, paying full amount. So yeah, that would be a big cost in there. Hey, and there's Dick Skinner coming into the live stream. What's up, buddy? Clinton Stark says, I'm a certified Ford and Dodge. The money just there. I have a CDL and heavy duty diesel mechanic for the state. Flat rate is where it's going to get the new people. Yep. The newer technicians coming into the industry are very, very scared of flat rate. I try to incentivize and teach the newer techs who are coming into the industry that flat rate's not really all that bad. Yeah, you can have some ups and you can have some downs, and you're going to have a couple of down weeks here and there. However, there's going to be a whole lot more up weeks to what you're looking at, especially in this day and age. And if for some reason, whatever dealership you're working at or whatever shop you're working at, if you can't get a hold of a place that does a good amount of hours and keep all the technicians that they have well fed in hours, jump ship, because there's other shops out there who are doing way better and able to bring in a crap load more hours and are starving for techs. So right now is definitely the time that toolboxes have wheels for a reason. And if you feel like you're getting shorted on time, shorted on hours, whether it be because the shop is just doing a poor job in advertising, they've got a bad reputation for whatever service department, or they're just showing favoritism to a small amount of technicians, then jump ship. It's, a hard thing to do, especially for people newer into the industry. But I'm telling you, there's more and there's bigger fish out in the waters. Call sign Kickback says, I'm a 17-year-old and I've been working in a fleet garage for 4 weeks now. So far, I love it and love the kind of work I'm getting in. Any tips for the experienced guys? Right now, if you're 17 and working in a fleet shop already, you're doing awesome. And my biggest recommendation would be to make sure that you're learning from the technicians who are most experienced and who are the ones who want to be able to teach you and help you learn through the ropes of the entire industry, not just a couple little tricks and pointers here and there, but actually showing you, hey, this is how you are really making money in the flat rate or however you might be paid or anything. But having a mentor in the industry or in the shop that you're working at is a big deal for a younger tech. So I definitely would look into that one. Everyday fleet tech in here, the Saltmaster himself. What's happening, buddy? Okay, some of us are in night shift. You just had to go live on a weekday. I sure did. I announced it a whole day ago, buddy. Back to work. Take care. All right, man. It was good seeing you in here. I appreciate you stopping in, at least showing your face in on the live stream. 410 Auto Tech here also, who also has a fantastic YouTube channel. So does Everyday Fleet Tech. So does Dick Skinner. So make sure you go and check them out. Excuse me. Our shop rate out the door for Diag and shop supplies is $195 an hour. Now, you live in a pretty big market also. So that kind of is a going rate, especially when there's that many shops available. And from what I remember, you were in a bigger shop anyways with a lot of technicians. So trying to get and clamor that amount of work into the area, it's something that is a big deal for where you're at. ZCC Car Care Auto LLC. What's happening, man? Thanks for stopping in. Kickback, don't be afraid to do any job, even clean up. That is a very, very good piece of information. Always, always be busy. Don't ever be just sitting around. It's not a great thing to do. You don't want to show that you're, not interested, whether it be even something minute. Always seem interested and always wanting to learn or do something. Anyways, over on this article, there was a couple of other neat little bits of information. 12-store Colorado dealership group said they were wanting to hire 54 technicians. And this is the thing that goes on and on. This other one from Hansel Auto Group, trying to add 33 techs to their roster of 148. I mean, they're wanting to add 10, 15, 20% to their technician line. That's just everywhere you look. And here's one of the big things that some of these dealerships are running into issue-wise, and what they're trying to do to kind of get around it is whether you might have a crappy driving record. That's a big thing for dealerships because obviously master technicians, it doesn't matter how good of a technician you are. If you're not allowed to drive customers' vehicles, you're useless to the shop. If you can't drive cars, you're useless because you can't diagnose things properly. You can't check whether your fix actually fixed them and you need to pay somebody else to do that driving for you. You're useless. So driving record is a big thing for technicians. So for the young guys out there who are listening, make sure you take that into account. And doing stupid stuff when you're young and getting points on your license or getting your license revoked for doing dumb things, it's a major issue. Make sure you keep your mind on that one. Those things like getting your license revoked or DUIs are a major slash to anybody who's trying to be a technician. Don't fall down that hole. All right. Having my current shop for an independent, can't wait. Call sign Kickback says it's hourly. I'll do any job. Trust me, they trust me to do. That is a very good thing. There's 2 techs that really try to help, and teach me on big jobs. I've done high pressure oil pumps, stand pipes, and turbos. That's awesome, especially for somebody who's 17 years old. Dude, you're kicking ass and taking names. That's good for you. Keep doing what you're doing. Always want to be learning. You're doing the right thing. I'm just letting you know right there, you're doing a good job. Having a driver's license, period, yes, that is very important. 410 says, I've been at my shop this November for 10 years. One of the guys that's been there for 10 years just left last week for another dealer 5 minutes from his house. Drive time is very important for some people. It's very important to me. I don't think that I would leave the dealership that I'm at right now ever. One, they treat me very well and know exactly what my worth is and what my master certification status is bringing into the dealership, because I left there for a while and they felt the pain of what it was like to not have the technician to be able to do those jobs. So obviously they know what somebody's worth, and the fact that I only live a couple of minutes from the dealership that I work at, it's pretty awesome. It really is. Steven says, if it's not broke, fix it. I don't know why you can't push link. I'm not sure about posting links on here. I don't think it's letting things for that amount. I don't know if that's a StreamYard thing or if that's a new YouTube thing or not. Super Mickey asks, is ASEs that important? I'm guessing you're meaning, are ASEs that important to become a technician? Now, I'm going to say two different answers on that one. In this current day and age, yes, it is. Now, did I think that same thing, especially when I was doing videos 2, 3, or 4 years ago? No, I really didn't. That was also because there was a larger amount of technicians in. ASE kind of had got the viewpoint that they really weren't that much of a professional thing. They kind of lost some of their credibility, not to any certain particular circumstance or whatnot, but it was just a mindset with what the technicians had. And then they changed up a lot of the ways that they do testing. They changed up the style of questions that they ask, and they started doing more of a comprehensive questionnaire asking before they had these questions that were, if you were a General Motors tech, you could pass the ASE test a whole lot easier than if you were a Chrysler or a Honda tech, just because they centered probably 80+% of the technician or the technical based questions off of General Motors based vehicles. So mass airflow vehicles, unfortunately, where Chrysler technicians are used to doing everything off of map, fuel, and everything, and not mass airflow. So there's a lot of questions on mass air, and if you didn't understand that one, it was a lot harder to do. But right now, the ASE has really done a good job in getting a better amount of questions and a different style of questioning that has kind of come up with the technician and the new technical aspects on cars. For instance, I just did my research on ASC brake this last year, and I remember there was quite a few questions in there about electrical and regenerative braking, whether the pedal should do this, or in regeneration you're going to have this feel, but this is another issue. It was a really great thing to be able to see them coming up with the new technology and questioning those things to keep technicians on their toes and up to date for what is newest in the industry. So it's really great seeing them to do that. Super Mickey says, my current shop is more focused on ASEs than being brand certified versus independent. Is willing to pay more because I'm actually certified for 2 of the 5 brands they service. Hey, what's up, Renegade? Good to see you kind of cruising in here. So with that said, also right now, for Chrysler at least, an FCA group, they are requiring ASE tests and ASE certifications to be master certified. They have 3 different master certification levels, or different kinds of them. You can become electrical ASE master, chassis ASE, or chassis master, and you can also be powertrain master specialist. And all of those require ASE passing to be able to get those master certifications. I know the electrical one requires you to get electrical. I believe it's also air conditioning, HVAC, to be able to get that one as well. Chassis one is obviously requiring you to have brakes, suspension, obviously for the chassis. And drivetrain is obviously requiring you to get your powertrain certification in engine performance and repair, as well as, I believe, one of the transmissions. So just keep that one in mind, that even if manufacturers are doing that right now, obviously it's an important thing in the industry, and its importance is definitely going up. Mick Bake coming in with the giggity goos. All right. Thanks, man. All right. Anyways, since we are over half an hour into this live stream, I think we need to do the giveaway portion of this. How does that sound? So for you guys who did not know, the last video that I did here on the YouTube channel, I did a Nifty Tools video, and everybody loves Nifty Tools. So figured we teamed up with the guys over at Toolbox Widget, and we also, boy, that glare is bad. Toolbox Widget, and also are doing a giveaway on their newest, latest, greatest Knuckle Scrubber hand soap. It's a fantastic hand soap to have, and we're going to do a giveaway here on giving this to one lucky technician or one lucky person who commented in that video for a year's supply of the hand soap. It's great stuff. I've been using it for about 3.5 months now, and I honestly, I can't say enough about it. It's great stuff. It works. So we got to give some cool stuff to you guys. Real quick, 410 Auto Tech did bring up, is Chrysler Training implementing Pico Scope training yet? GM classes has a small section on every hands-on training session, barely any actual training. So yes, 410, Chrysler is implementing Pico into a special tool that is required and has been required for about 8 or 9 months right now. Every dealership got one, whether they wanted to or not. And the integration of the Pico Scope into the diagnostics in Chrysler is fantastic. And the ease of use that they made the Pico Scope, it's pretty much dummy proof for anybody who's trying to get into using a scope. It's the best software that they ever could have done, and they took a lot of really good time with it. For instance, if I open up the tablet and it shows exactly what to do to hook up the Pico Scope into what you're testing, and then it will ask you 20 different questions on exactly what you're trying to do or scope out on the vehicle that you're working on. What kind of sensor are you working on? Are you working on this kind of cam sensor? Is it a tone wheel or is it a magnetic pickup? And then it's asking you, do you want to see a known good one along with the data that you're going to be pulling? Yes, I would. Thank you very much. Click. And you can see a known good one on that specific vehicle brought up for that kind of a sensor. It's awesome to see. It really is. And so far, Chrysler's done a pretty decent job in making it as easy to use. So it really doesn't take a whole lot of training to use it. It shows you pretty much exactly how to use it, where to use it, and what kind of readings you need. So pretty dummy proof. They've also done a really good job at implementing online training and update courses that are available for technicians. Now they're going to also be doing in-person and live update classes to get more diagnostics and diving deep into that one. And those have not been fully implemented quite yet, but are kind of working into the thing. So those are coming down the line, but again, with the lack of service and training centers being open, that's another issue right now that Chrysler is going through, is they can't hire enough trainers to fully staff the service centers to fully train the technicians. So that's something that Chrysler needs to figure out. And I think that's along the line of technicians, but they need to get that one figured out if they want their techs to be fully certified. Anyways, let's get back into the drawing for the 1 year supply of Knuckle Scrubber hand soap. Now, all you had to do was to watch that video. You had to put a certain comment, into the comments of that video and click on a link and go over and put your email address into the next giveaway entry for Toolbox Widget, because they do some great giveaways and they do them all the time. This last month, I believe they did a Texa Diagnostics giveaway, which is like $4,000 or $5,000 worth of Texa Diagnostics equipment, plus a bunch of Toolbox Widget stuff. It was pretty sweet. They just gave that away. It's awesome. So we were God, I can't talk tonight. It's not even that late. It's only like 7:30. It's like dark as hell out too. I thought it was like semi-light when I come in here. But anyways, we're giving a year's supply of Knuckle Scrubber hand soap away to the people who did that one. And we're gonna do a random comment generator live right here for everyone to see, and I will reply to that comment after I get off the live stream here. So I've got the random comment generator brought up here on the screen. This is the YouTube link that I'm pulling it from. You only got one entry, so filtering out the duplicates. So get a little drum roll here on drawing a winner, and the winner is going to be Psychotic Garage. Psychotic Garage commented on here, the soldering iron would have been great last week for repairing rodent damaged equipment. Have the Power Pro and you're right, the solder just slides right off. How about that one? Review actually went how the tool's supposed to be. Awesome. All right, well, I will do a reply to that one. Psychotic Garage, you have just won a 1 year supply of Knuckle Scrubber hand soap. So congratulations. I'm glad to see somebody going to be able to use this one fantastically. If it's not broken, also commented, Kyle, what the OEMs are doing in the outdoor power equipment is they are coming to you. They're asking what you want hands-on training on. That's a pretty awesome idea right there. But that would also require the OEMs to have enough people to do the training, because right now, if the OEMs were asking the dealerships and technicians, what do you want training on? I want this, and I want this, and I want this, and I want this. Okay, where's it at? We're going to offer those in like 6, 8, 12, 13, in a couple of months-ish, maybe? And they can't give you an answer. There are certain training courses that even FCA has put through the ringer, and they can't get enough people to do the training. So these technicians are waiting 1, even 2 years for applied courses, things that they obviously have the correct training for to be able to get into it, which they had to get everything to lead up to it, all the prerequisites, and then they apply for the course, and they're sitting on the wait list for those courses for up to 2 years. That is some crap, especially in a lot of dealerships that are basing people's pay and raises off of what level certifications these technicians have. If you were one of those technicians who's waiting on a level 3 certification status to be able to get a $2, $3, $5 an hour raise just based off of one class that hasn't been offered in a year, I'd be pretty pissed too. So I think the OEMs, especially Chrysler from what I see, need to get on the ball, need to get people hired, take people out of their horrendous star center that maybe helps technicians 15% of the time at most, and put some of those people into textbook learning courses, enough to have somebody read off of a teleprompter or something on a screen to teach these technicians anything that they need to. I'm sure they'd be able to do it. If you trust these guys to be able to run and do remote diagnostics via Star Center and get it right 10% of the time, why can you not put more people into these testing centers? I don't know. Just my thought process right there. It's horrible. Sean B says, took me 5 years to get into a hybrid trans hands-on class in Detroit. Isn't that just sad? I totally get that one. See you later, 410. Didn't see you kind of skirting out of here on that one, but I appreciate you stopping in. Yeah. What are you guys seeing in your training areas? Do you work for Chrysler? Do you see the same thing across the country? Do you work for these other manufacturers? Are you seeing the same letdown when it comes to getting trained? Like I said, when I talked about Super Mario Diagnostics YouTube video a little bit ago, I talked about him asking them whether the shop owners should pay for training or not. But one of the other questions that he asked a whole lot of his people, or asked a bunch of other YouTubers, was, what is the most important thing or the most important piece of advice you could give technicians getting into the industry on what they could do to better themselves or better the industry as a whole? And it was always training. You need to go get more training. You need to be more specialized. The more knowledge you have, the better it is for you to be able to get in anywhere you want to. So you need that training. So if he's seeing that all the way across the board, it's got to be important. It really is. And they're wanting this training. And it's the most important thing for technicians and the industry as a whole to be able to get better technicians, to get rid of that stigma that technicians are dumb and they just sit there and do monkey oil changes and get covered in grease, and that's all they're good for. No, that is not the way of the newer vehicles. That is not the way things are going. And that's another one of the things that they said here within one of these articles. See if I can get down and find it. Virtually every dealer they know is hiring people, and you can see they blame the shortage on parents pushing their children towards college-based careers. So in that area, I don't really blame them right there. Now, I'm trying to find it. I can't really find what I was looking for. But anyway, the Department of Labor Statistics, when they said that they were going to be looking at a technician shortage, was based off of a lot of the current administration and saying that they wanted to move over 50% of the automotive industry into the electrical and hybrid portion by the end of the decade. One, that's never going to happen that fast. Sorry, Biden. It's just not going to. You can't make things change and make an industry bend at your will if that's the speed that you want it to without pissing a whole lot of people off. It's not going to happen, whatever. But anyways, moving on to that one, they're basing their Department of Labor Statistics studies based off of the administration's goals and saying, okay, well, we want to see more electrical and more hybrid cars coming out. So therefore, things that are electric and hybrid, they should need worked on less. So therefore, we really don't need that many technicians, and we could afford a 5, 7, even 10% drop in technicians and be okay in the industry. And it goes on to say, however, that's not what they're seeing on the ground. And that's exactly what we were saying. Oh, here it is. The U.S. Department of the Labor Department believes that increased computerization in cars will require fewer technicians. Diagnosis will be simpler. There you go. Add more electrical things so that diagnostics are going to get easy. That's what they said. They said it right there. I don't get it. So, therefore, diagnostics should be simpler, leading to easier repairs. So, we will need fewer people. So, make more electric things, make it more automated. So, therefore, it'll never break, and you won't need technicians to fix them. We'll just have the little guys on their computers just there. It's fixed. Good to go. This is frustrating. So fewer people will be needed. That's the long view. But that big but right there. But that is not what is happening on the ground. So these newer cars that are coming out with more and more electronics. And I've seen this myself in the field. And every single one of these new vehicles that come out with the latest, greatest technology requires more certification for the technicians. So they're becoming engineers pretty much. And so these newer vehicles, obviously, they're going to have a lot more technology. So they should be able to diagnose themselves. That's not happening. These newer technology vehicles that come out with, especially in the ADAS world right now, ADAS recalibrations are huge, absolutely massive. These cars coming out with night vision systems, the forward collision monitoring is off the charts right now. And to be able to even reconfigure or realign them after collisions or accidents, because these collision centers aren't able to afford the $20,000 to $50,000 worth of equipment for ADAS recalibration. Guys who are doing ADAS recalibration, mark my words on this one, that this is going to be a huge field to get into. The guys who do mobile diagnostics, invest in mobile ADAS recalibration. You'll thank me later. Just saying right there. Office people have no clue about how electronics work. Yeah, there we go. Dick Skinner asks, what do you think there is to do when you can't find DEF parts? If you can't find the parts to fix DEF equipment, they might just fall off the vehicles. The EPA didn't hear that. Shh. It's okay. If it's not broken ass, we need to ask them to explain Ohm's law, and look on their face would be worth it. Yes. They do not understand anything about electronics. Not at all. Yeah. Anyways, I have ranted all I wanted to tonight. I wanted to keep this thing under an hour, and I did. Big thanks over to Psychotic Garage. That guy right there, or gal, or whoever it is, Psychotic Garage, he or she won the 1-year supply of Knuckle Scrubber hand soap. So thank you to Toolbox Widget and Knuckle Scrubber hand soap for partnering with me for that giveaway. Hopefully we'll be doing a couple of really great giveaways again here very soon on the channel. It's going to be a good time. I know the videos haven't been coming out nearly as often, but I enjoy doing these live streams and hanging out with you guys all the same. So I might start doing these a little bit more often, because I can just do them on a whim and I can get some more stuff done around here. It's fall time around on the big Rust Belt Ranch, and there's a lot of stuff to do. On top of that, guess what? I got my motorcycle license this week. I know. Usually everybody's already got it, but I went and got mine, and I'm taking a safety course this week. So that's why over this last couple of days and this week, there's probably not going to be a video out, because I've got courses and training on motorcycle safety for the next 4 or 5 days. So unfortunately, that's what's going to be happening. But anyways, thank you for what you guys have done to the channel. We are up over 62,000 subscribers now, still rocking and rolling away, getting up there. So anyways, look at this. Look at this guy. Shaka Gillis coming in at the buzzer last minute just to remind us that Ryobi tools are absolute trash. Thank you for that, Shaka. I couldn't have done a live stream without you showing your face and showing up for that awesome $2 bonus in there. Thanks, buddy. Doing a bait class and your insurance will thank you. Yes, that's pretty much what I'm doing. I'm doing the training course. I got my permit this last week on Wednesday. I passed the course. I only missed 4 or 5 questions. So not too bad. And I did buy a new motorcycle as well. Well, new to me, not really new. I don't think I could ever buy a new motorcycle. So if you guys didn't know, I do have an Instagram account also. I'll post some pictures up on that one here over the next day or so, just to see some reactions to, wow, look at the horrendous paint job on that thing. What, you didn't buy a Harley? Yeah, I'm sorry. Whatever. I'm just getting into writing. It's going to be a good time. Anyways, we're done here tonight. Thanks for tuning in today, guys. And as always, you guys stay awesome.